Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Rick 9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about I Love Lucy. More specifically about a really cool idea that I want to implement on this channel. If you're a fan of classic TV shows and movies, then these are the things that I cover on this channel. I love talking about I Love Lucy, Gilligan's Island, Three Stooges, lots of other stuff, and I want to bring you more into the videos. How do I do that? Well, I've developed this way that essentially I can ask you questions, I can poll all of you, and you can give me your thoughts, ideas, impressions, and essentially I can get the audience reaction. I can get the reaction from the fans so that you can let me know what you think about certain things, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. So let's get right to it. I'll basically show you what I asked and what you all answered, and we'll shout some people out as well as talk about my thoughts about it and maybe talk about what is upcoming. So I'm really excited about looking at this. So I have my notes down here. I'll be looking at them periodically. So the question that I asked all of you, how would you rate the I Love Lucy Hollywood episodes? So, I mean, it could be a little bit debated what are actually the Hollywood episodes. I would consider the fact of when they're actually in Hollywood, LA at Last, pretty much all the way to the Great Train Robbery, which is when they lead back. But you can also argue that the Hollywood episodes, even though they don't take place in Hollywood, the Hollywood story starts before that, going back into when Ricky has the movie offer and continuing all the way through to the Great Train Robbery. So I wasn't that specific, so I'm not going to get into all those details. But I polled a lot of you, and a lot of you did answer. I highly encourage you in the future to participate in the polls. They're free, and they really help make videos just like this, so you may hear your own name shouted out. And so it's really interesting. I asked you to give stars. So 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars, 1 stars. Of course, 1 star being the worst, 5 star being the best. 58.5% of you, almost 59%, said that they would give the Hollywood episodes 5 stars, so like a perfect score. 4 stars, 34.1% said 4 stars. And then you'll see it up on the screen. And then 7.3%, 3 stars. Kind of like an average / satisfactory, not even that great. No one gave it a 2 stars or 1 star. So that's a good sign, obviously. I want to kind of talk about what I think about this and then your impressions. So I was kind of surprised that it didn't get more 5 stars. But this lets me know that this is fairly honest, because 5 is big. So in my opinion, Hollywood, the Hollywood episodes are amongst the best, all of I Love Lucy. It's just the sweet point for me. And so 58.5, I thought that number would be greater, but 34.1% is still pretty good. It's still a pretty good score. And I think if we talk about, let's say, 60%, and only 7.3% of people thought, it's not that great, or it's not that interesting of a series, which I'm kind of surprised about. I'm interested to see maybe the pregnancy episodes and to score them out. And what I actually did is I combined all of your ratings, and out of 5, I gave it an average. And so if we average out all of the responses, it's 4.512 out of 5. So 5.5 stars, a little more than 5.5 stars. Now, if I make more of these videos, which I'm looking forward to doing, I could rate other shows and other things and see if we can even get something rated higher than 4.5, because that's pretty good. But remember, because so many of you answering, right, that hurts the average and so forth. And so, I don't know, I think that's really interesting. The 7.3% is actually smaller than I thought, because I thought more people would give it a 3, but no one gave it 2 stars, no one gave it 1 stars, no troll answers here. I felt this let me know that a lot of you were really serious about this, because even 1 star would be like the worst. And I'm guessing that if there would be, that would be maybe not an I Love Lucy fan, maybe just kind of doing it for that. But no, we got 0, 2 stars, and 1 star. But I also want to rate things that aren't that good. Like, I want to see what your thoughts are on the Scotland episode and see if some people rate it really good or not. I think it's really interesting because you guys are a real live audience. And so I want to shout some of you out. I by the way, gave it a rating of 5 stars. It's literally my favorite of I Love Lucy, all the Hollywood episodes. I'm not saying all of them are great. Maybe I'll even do a video where I rank all the Hollywood episodes from favorite to least favorite. Let me know if you'd like to see that in the comments below. I'll make a video on that in the future if you are interested. So let's see what some of these responses say. I'll shout some of you out. Okay, Alan from Colorado Springs, Colorado. That run had a great set of Hollywood stars, I would agree, that were phenomenal to see. Just shows how they felt about Lucy for them to be out of character. Like, for example, Bill Holden, when he got the pie thrown on him, or the food thrown on him, that is. It was great to see A-listers of the day let their hair down. And I would agree with this. It's a great insight, Alan. I mean, even John Wayne sitting on a curler, I always use that example because you can't think of a more macho guy. It kind of breaks the illusion of that just like perfection that we think of when we think of John Wayne when you make him sit on a curler. It doesn't humiliate him, but it, like you said, it lets their hair down. It makes them a little bit more human, a little bit more fun without essentially completely embarrassing them, I would say. Although throwing a pie in someone's face is kind of embarrassing or self-deprecating. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Mike or Mikey, I just see the emails here. From St. Marcos, California says, I love the entire Hollywood series from the buying of the car, the road trip, Ethel's hometown return. That's a good episode. And their stay in Hollywood. Every episode seemed to have at least one classic hysterical scene. I would agree. And that's what I Love Lucy's based on. The idea that there is at least one good scene. And that's what they did. They had the pinnacle scene. That's how they started. They said, what would be funny? Well, maybe Fred, Ricky, and Lucy making fun of Ethel while she's singing in front of the audience and them doing all these wacky things, kind of like vaudeville. How do we build up to that? Well, maybe we can visit Ethel's hometown. They get mad at her. They're trying to get back at her. So they work backwards kind of thing. Or, for example, Lucy steals John Wayne footprints. But how do we get there? How do we get them to talk about Lucy? How do we get them to tour Grauman's Chinese Theater and then have her get the idea? So they kind of went backwards, and I think that's really cool. By the way, these two individuals both rated 5 stars. I'll talk about some 4-star people and some 3-star people. So I'm trying to be fair here. And the reason why I'm making a video like this, by the way, a little commercial break, is because sometimes I just like talking about the episodes, and I want to make these kind of videos more on my channel. Hey, I love when I say, hey, did you ever know this? Did you ever find this out? Do you think this is a moment you never noticed? That's great because I think that's fun, but it's also fun to talk about the episodes, talk about moments, scenes, and I know you guys like that as well. Someone said, with no name, from Phoenix, Arizona, great show, clean humor. Eagle Rockers from LA said, I grew up near Hollywood, so those episodes really take me back to my childhood, which I love. I'm a real Hollywood kid at heart, 73 years old now. Shout out to you. And says, love your vids. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Eagle Rockers. Okay. There's a lot of good stuff here. From St. John's, Florida, you know who you are, initials PT. When it comes to the Hollywood episodes, in my view, Ricky's movie offer was the first. It's the episode that started the true story arc of the Ricardos and Merces across the country. It was the first time that there was a true sequence of events in I Love Lucy. Yeah, pretty much, except if you don't think about Cousin Ernie, there was a two-parter. There was a first I Love Lucy two-parter, essentially. And I continue. It's the episode that started the story arc of the Ricardos and Merces across the country. I read that. The episodes leading up to their departure and those on the road are just as funny as those that take place in Hollywood itself, and I have a particular fondness for the Albuquerque episode. Plus, the episodes set in Hollywood gave rise to several huge movie star guest appearances, William Holden, John Wayne. I mean, I Love Lucy is what started, essentially, the collaboration. You ever hear of YouTube collaborations where two YouTubers get together? Essentially, I Love Lucy did that. It's a celebrity collaboration. I think that's really, really cool. Kathleen from Ankeny, Iowa, I hope I'm saying that correctly. I loved all the Hollywood episodes, especially the one with William Holden. He did comedy very well. Very, very true. These episodes all captured how starstruck Lucy was supposed to be while in Hollywood. I never failed to laugh at these episodes. I would agree with that. YouTube name, someone from Hartford, Connecticut, says Lucille Ball was at her best in the Hollywood episodes. I would agree at that. Let's go to some people, because a lot of people answered. I'm skipping a lot, and not in a bad way. It's just so many choices. AMJDG from Fort Worth, Texas. I enjoyed the videos from Rick 9G. Thank you. The Artless Gallery, Purviews, Mississippi. I think. I love watching her interacting with the stars. I agree. Now, 4 stars. This is anonymous. They decided not to leave anything, which I prefer not to, but hey, if you want to be anonymous, that's great. They are good, but I think overrated. Do you think the Hollywood episodes are overrated? 4 stars here. Why are they overrated? Let me know. Are they just not as funny to you? Do you not like the stories? Do you think the acting was subpar? Let me know. In the comments, of course. Okay, 4 stars. Someone from Penn Argyle, I think it is, Pennsylvania. I haven't seen all the episodes in years, and I'm trying to watch all of them on Pluto TV for free. Yes, they are on free Pluto TV. I don't have any streaming services that you have to pay for. I hope starting from season 1, but Pluto TV has seasons 3 and 4. I'm about halfway through season 3. I would agree with that. Streaming does have a lot of the episodes. In fact, if you look at the, just by the way, if you look at Pluto TV and you go to the live ones, the ones that are just playing like it's TV, then you can definitely just put it on. You can't choose the episode, but essentially it'll go through all of them. Not sequentially all the time. Sometimes they'll skip some, but they'll always go through them. You'll watch them all. Okay, a little more. Tom, 4 stars, San Jose, California. Many of them were so funny when she was starstruck. I agree. Let's go with some 3 stars. I want to read those 2. Daniel from Concord, North Carolina. Not a huge fan. But why? Tell me why. There has to be a reason. I know some people said that they liked or they missed the apartment, which totally makes sense. 3 stars. DLV from Boston, Massachusetts. I enjoy the Hollywood episodes mostly for the backdrop scenery and the breezy feel. However, I find them less comedic than other seasons. Wow. At times I feel a bit tedious in that there's somewhat one note in their comedy. That's so interesting. One note in their comedy. How does that differ from, for example, some at the apartment? I'd love to know your thoughts. That's why I like details, so I can talk about them. AK Fabe, wrestling fan I'm guessing, St. Paul, Minnesota. I suppose I just personally did not prefer the Hollywood episodes. Still gave them a 3. And like the episodes where they were at home better. I don't think that they were bad or anything. I just love the show as a whole. I just like them less than the standard episodes. I get that because there are certain shows where, believe me, when they leave their familiar area or destination or usual location, I don't like it either. There was a show that I used to watch, it's actually Spanish TV, it's called El Chavo. Long story short, they're always in an apartment complex and they're hanging out. But there's one episode where they actually, or it's like a series of episodes, 2-3 episodes, where they go to Acapulco. And all the characters go, and it's great, don't get me wrong, but I don't like it as much as when they're in the neighborhood because I feel like it's just so out of place, it's not as funny, but it's nice to see him there, if that makes sense. So there is some enthusiasm or some joy in watching them. Continuing on, there would have been a 2 or 1, I would have read them as well. Booger 414, Stamford, Connecticut. Even though I only saw the show in repeats, I think the various different settings took away from the original New York City episodes. I don't agree, but I understand what you mean. The different settings took something away from the original episodes. I don't think they took away. I could see how they're not as maybe interesting to some. But continuing, I'm giving my opinion on your opinion, and that's fun. But the Hollywood and the Connecticut episodes just seem forced. So I would say that I would agree with you with the Connecticut episodes. I'm not a huge fan of the Connecticut episodes, although I still watch it and enjoy them. Continuing, especially with the improbability of their neighbors always joining them. Improbability of their neighbors always joining them. So I guess like the Ramseys you're talking about. So that's an interesting one. Another 3-star from LA, anonymous. Not too sure. I always skip these episodes. Wow, you skip the I Love Lucy Hollywood episodes. There's some of the most iconic in my mind. But that's interesting. Except Lucy Dances with Van Johnson. The New York episodes feel more nostalgic. Yeah, I would agree with that. They feel more nostalgic. I'll give it to you. The Hollywood episodes are kind of out of place. I want to know your thoughts on the European episodes. But again, participate in the polls. I think that's really cool because you could have your voice be heard and we can rate these things, and then I'm going to make a list. And so take a look at this. I'm going to start making these and I'll show them to you. I'll essentially show you what the question is. We'll look at basically the answers, and then we'll look at the average rating that people gave this. For this one, it was 4.512, I believe. And then we'll see the question, the Hollywood episodes, but I could ask about a specific episode and see how we can rank these and what scores we can get in I Love Lucy episodes, and tell me what other shows that I cover that I can do this as well. Thank you so much for the support as always. Don't forget to leave a comment below and give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see more about this. I feel that every once in a while videos like this are great because they break up what I usually do and they just give me a chance to just talk and interact with all of you in a very unique way, that we're not looking in a specific moment. We're hearing from all of you. So we'll see you all next time. Don't forget to stay positive and most importantly, be hopeful. A big recognition to my Diamond and Platinum tier patrons. Daniel B, Citizen Kane 359, David D, Russ C, Sally N, and Vito L. If you want to join the Patreon family and get exclusive perks, make sure to check the links in the description. Thanks.